Have you ever seen something like this in your vision before? Well, they are called vitreous floaters or eye floaters. Most of the eye floaters you see are small specks of protein called collagen. They are a part of the gel-like substance at the back of your eye called the vitreous. As you age, the protein fibers that make up the vitreous shrink down to little shreds that clump together, and the shadows those clumps cast on your retina are the floaters. Did you know that there's a feeling similar to deja vu called deja rev? Instead of feeling like you've previously experienced an event in real life, deja rev is where you feel like you've previously experienced an event in a dream. Did you know that prior to the 1950s, the very popular soda that we know today as 7-Up had a mood regulator in it? When 7-Up was originally placed on the market in 1929, it contained lithium citrate, a mood stabilizing drug, which at the time was commonly used in the treatment of manic states and bipolar disorder. 7-Up was one of many medical products popular for this, but in 1948 they decided to rebrand and reformulate their drink. This is when they stopped being a pharmaceutical drug and became the soda that we all know today. Did you know jelly beans and most other glazed candies are commonly coated in hardened insect secretions? The reason jelly beans are so shiny is because they're coated in this substance right here called shellac. Shellac is a resin secreted from the female lac bug after it drinks the sap from trees. This stuff is actually so commonly used, you have to special order candy corn if you want some without any on it. Have you ever wondered what the caloric value of a nuclear explosion is? The nuke that was dropped on Hiroshima detonated with the energy of about 63 terajoules. 1 kilocalorie, which is known as a large calorie by Americans, is equal to 4,184 joules. So if we divide that by the 63 terajoules of the nuke's explosion, we get 15 billion kilocalories. That's 15 billion large calories for those of y'all in the United States. Did you know that the urine from a person with diabetes can contain so much sugar that it can be used to make whiskey? Believe it or not, this is actually how the Gilpin family whiskey is made. Have you ever wondered how many AA batteries it would take to power a person for just one day? Well, an alkaline cell is rated at right around 2.4 amp hours. If we assume 1.5 volts average, this gives us approximately 3.6 watt hours. Since there are 3,600 seconds in an hour, this means that each AA battery is equivalent to 12,960 joules. The average person consumes right around 2,000 kilocalories a day. That's 2,000 large calories if you're an American. 1 kilocalorie is equal to 4,184 joules. That means that the average person needs 8,368,000 joules of energy a day. Divide that by the 12,960 joules in a AA battery, and you get 646, which is how many AA batteries it would take to power a person for just one day. Did you know that up until 2010, carrier pigeons were faster than the internet? In order to compare upload speeds, a test was done where they had a carrier pigeon fly a USB stick 50 miles to an internet provider while racing against an upload. The pigeon made it in just about an hour while the upload took around 2 hours. Have you ever wondered how long it would take to feasibly binge watch all of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super, movies included, in one go? Well, Dragon Ball has 153 episodes and 4 movies. Dragon Ball Z has 291 episodes and 15 movies. And lastly, Dragon Ball Super currently has 131 episodes and 2 movies. This means our total runtime for everything worth watching is 15,022 minutes. Now, if we factor in 4 hours worth of sleep and an hour's worth of time for food and bathroom breaks each day, we end up with 302.36 hours or 12.6 days in order to feasibly binge watch all Dragon Ball content worth watching in one go. Did you know that the reason that artificial banana flavoring and artificial banana flavored products don't taste like banana is because they're based on a kind of banana that was nearly wiped out in the 1950s? Have you ever wondered how much force you would need to fart with in order to lift off the ground? Let's say that you weigh 140 pounds. This means that the earth pulls on you with a gravitational force of 667 newtons, which means that you would have to direct a force at least this strong towards the ground if you wanted to lift off for even a fraction of a second. According to Google, the mass of an average fart is 0.037 grams. To generate the upward force required to counteract gravity, your bowel muscles must give this mass an acceleration of 667 divided by the mass of a fart in kilograms, which equals an acceleration of 18 million meters per second. Assuming it is expelled in a 1 second fart, that yields a final exit velocity velocity of 18,000 kilometers per second, which is equal to 40.26 million miles per hour. Another way of putting it is in order for you to achieve liftoff, your farts would have to leave your body at 6% the speed of light. Have you ever wondered how much it would cost to eat ramen 3 times a day, every day for a year? Well, according to the internet, the average cost of a packet of ramen is 30 cents. This is assuming you're buying from your local store and not just doing a massive online purchase. Multiply 30 cents by 3 of them a day for 365 days, and you get $328.5, which is how much it should cost you to eat ramen 3 times a day, every day for a full year. Do y'all want to know a heavy metal fact? Finland has the most metal bands per capita in the entire world. They actually have 53.5 metal bands per 100,000 people. And other Nordic nations like Iceland, Sweden, and Norway are not far behind them. There is even a Finnish children's metal group, which is just a bunch of dinosaurs singing heavy metal children's music. Did you know that if we forced every single person in the world to fight each other in a worldwide tournament, set up in brackets consisting of one-on-one fights until a worldwide champion was decided, you would only need to win 33 fights in order to become the worldwide champion. And that's including all 7.7 billion people in the world. Have you ever wondered how hot Flaming Hot Cheetos actually are? When measuring the heat of a snack like salsa or a pepper, what is used is the Scoville heat unit scale. The ranks of the scale are 0 to 700 SHU is for things with just the smallest amount of heat. Mildly spicy is anything from 700 to 3000 SHU. Moderately spicy is 3000 to 25,000 SHU. Highly spicy is 25,000 to 70,000 SHU. Extremely spicy, now we're talking it can burn its way through most people, is anything above 80,000 SHU. According to Google, Flaming Hot Cheetos sit right at 50,000 SHU, right next to cayenne pepper. Before toilet paper was invented, which was in 1857, Americans for the most part used corn cobs, unless they had access to periodicals like the Farmer's Almanac, which was designed with a hole specifically so it could hang in outhouses. Have you ever wondered how much TNT it would take to match the energy in a Snickers bar? The Snickers bar I'm using as an example contains 280 kilocalories, which is 280 large calories or nutritional calories if you're in America. 1 kilocalorie is equal to 1,000 small calories, which is what is used in physics and chemistry. 1 small calorie is equal to 4.2 joules. Therefore, this is the equation I use to figure out how many joules of energy is inside the Snickers bar, which equaled 1,176,000 joules. A gram of TNT has approximately 4,000 joules. So we divide our prior result by 4,000 and we get 294 grams or 0.64 pounds of TNT. Did you know that English is not the official language of the United States? Or to be more specific, there is no official language of the United States. Various versions of English are just what's commonly used. Did you know bacteria from human tears, noses, and belly buttons can be used to make cheese? In 2013, an exhibit called Self-Made at Dublin Science Gallery showcased cheese cultured with bacteria from human tears, noses, and belly buttons. A funny thing the science exhibit revealed was when you make cheese using bacteria from sources like this, it ends up smelling a lot like the original owner's natural body odor. Have you ever wondered how long it would take to feasibly watch every Scooby-Doo episode and movie, crossovers and live actions included, all in one go? Well, after a bit of Googling, I was able to pull the runtime for all of the content, and there is a lot of different versions of Scooby-Doo. The total time I came up with for just the content was 14,021 minutes, or 233.68 hours worth of Scooby-Doo. Now, if we add 4 hours for sleep, and 1 hour for meal prepping and bathroom breaks every 19 hours, then we come up with 295.17 hours, or 12.29 days in order to feasibly binge all of Scooby-Doo in one go. Have you ever wondered why most fiberglass insulation looks like delicious cotton candy? Well, back in the 1950s, the Owens Corning Company was facing increasing competition from other fiberglass manufacturers. So they decided to add red dye to the naturally tan insulation in order to distinguish it from their rivals' products. Well, the bright pink color they ended up with became such a powerful marketing tool that the company trademarked it in 1985. Pink in all capitals is still to this day a registered trademark of theirs. The corporation generation even went so far as to adopt the Pink Panther as a mascot in 1980. The long-legged cartoon feline, who shares his color with the fiberglass insulation, is still to this day one of the most recognized American advertising figures. Have you ever wondered how much TNT it would take to match the energy in a Red Bull? One 12-ounce Red Bull has 160 kilocalories. That is 160 large calories if you're in America. 1 kilocalorie is equal to 4,184 joules. That means that a 12-ounce Red Bull has 669,440 joules worth of energy. Now, a gram of TNT has approximately 4,000 joules worth of energy. So if we divide our prior result by 4,000, we get 167.36 grams of TNT, which is a little over a third of a pound of TNT for those who prefer that unit of measurement. Did you know that there is a religion based around one man's alien abduction? It's called Raelianism, and it was founded by this man, Claude, also known as Rael. Claude claims to have once been taken to a distant planet called Elohim by aliens, where he met great philosophers like Confucius and Siddhartha. The aliens then revealed to him that life on Earth began when humans were created from alien DNA 25,000 years ago, and that the Earth should expect the aliens' arrival in Jerusalem in the year 2025. Have you ever wondered how long it would take to feasibly binge watch all of SpongeBob SquarePants, movies and specials included, in one go? Well, I had to pull the runtime for the special episodes individually, but the total runtime for the show ended up being 6,166 minutes. If we add in the combined runtime for the 3 SpongeBob movies, which is 270 minutes, we end up with 6,436 minutes, or 107.26 hours of total runtime for all of SpongeBob. Now, if we factor in 4 hours for sleep, and an hour's worth of time for food and bathroom breaks each day, we end up with 129.6 hours, or 5.4 days in order to feasibly binge watch all of SpongeBob SquarePants in one go.